Hey guys, how's it going? I don't have anything totally interesting going on, but I've been playing with tractors and I figure I'll just flick the camera on and kind of give you a heads up on what's going on. So, again, as I said, it's been tractor rescue and repair day and digging all the machines out. And the Terramite's out, the Aaron's out, the Honda's out, and the Kubota. Kubota, we did the oil pressure setup on that not that long ago, so that tractor's pretty good other than needing a battery. So I gotta pop the battery out of that and go to the junkyard and go swap out another one. Honda was fine. It just had a flat tire, and the battery was still good. It fired up on its own. You know, of course it sat all summer. But I got the tube. I put a tube in the tire on the other side. As you can see, those tires are pretty bad. The only downfall on those is it's four-wheel drive, and the aspect ratio of the tires have to be correct or else it damages the transmission in it. And this is one of those four-wheel steer, four-wheel drive kind of setups. So I should be able to run that for still quite a while. I've seen some worse ones than that, but eventually I'm gonna have to break down and buy tires, and tires probably cost me as much as the tractor did. I was moving some trailers around, so I stuck a tow ball on the back of it. I figured I'd make it a little bit more handy for moving stuff around. And that weight box goes up and down with the 3-point hitch, so it's kind of easy. You go up underneath the trailer, just lift it up, and away you go. And this is the snowblower. Tractor didn't come with a snowblower, just had a mower deck on it. But I wanted to use it for moving snow. So it was last fall I think it was, that we got this set up on there with another Honda snowblower, and then just made up all the metal brackets and contraptions to go underneath it. Added some wheels to it. I wanted to show, this isn't fluid film, this is the toilet ring wax, and I had sprayed this down and it has stayed out the whole time. But you can kind of see how well it's been holding up. Like, this was a ground away bare metal spot, no paint or anything. Put back on it, this was bare steel. You can see where I missed it a little bit, so you can see the difference right there. That's a good example, actually. No coverage. And you can see how it just stops it dead. There's no rust happens at all, you know, except for where you miss it. So the whole snowblower was sprayed down with it, and I don't see any issues anywhere. You know, the other place to turn the rust is in the center there, of course, because that just gets so much friction that it rubs off everything that's there. But everything else looks good. You can tell where, you know, all the original rust was, and it just seems to stop it pretty good. And you look over there, you can see it. So that seems to be a success. That stuff very good for the stoppage of the rust. It was a pretty good test, I would say. And the Aaron's was my old faithful. I have had this tractor probably going on about 15 years. And this has got a 4-foot snowblower on it with a 36-inch tiller on the back. It's got a mower deck also, but this one sat for almost 2 years now, and the battery was still good, but I did have to purge the gas out of it. I put my little alternative can on there, fuel supply. It's a fuel tank, and I ran it around to the front, and fortunately there wasn't much gas in it. So this motor has a fuel pump on it, and I just ran the fuel pump into a bucket, and I purged out all the old gas, and then put some new fuel on and a fuel filter on it, and ran some new fuel, and away it goes. So this one just needs to get a good clean up and a detail. Yeah, fuel filter still looks good. And I'm going to end up sending this one down the road. I figure it's that time of the year. It's a mid-80s, I want to say. 88, 85, something like that. And it's serving me well. The only problem is it's two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. And when I go down the back, it kind of gets stuck a little bit when you're trying to do a turnaround. So you have to do like an 18-point turn, and then you can get out of there. Whereas the Honda just pretty much chomps over everything that's in its way. And as I said, the Terramite's out also, and I got to do the same with that. It's got the alternative fuel supply hanging on top, and I'm gonna go charge the battery up now, see if it takes a charge. It does run decent. See if it'll fire now. idle. So that guy's pretty much set up. I'll do the same. I'll change the fuel line and drop the hood down and let the fuel pump run and purge out all the old fuel and put some fresh stuff in it. Sense of having them if they don't run, right? That's those guys. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh, the got rid of the Toyota 4Runner's gone. That freed up a spot. And also got rid of that Ski-Doo snowmobile. That was the liquid cooled one. I was gonna use it for like a go-kart style build, but having the fact that it is liquid cooled just made it too complicated. I'd rather just start with an air cooled sled. So that probably left a little while ago, about an hour ago. And the Kubota picked it up and dumped that in there with the forks. And it's that polling tower Mr. Shu was asking about. It's a Black Hawk power tower, 10 ton. There's all the info on it. And basically it's a pneumatic over hydraulics. It's got a hydraulic ram on the bottom of it, and through chains and cams you pick your point how you want to go pull, and then you take the pulling tower and you chain the pulling tower down to the floor. So you got to put like in your cement a couple of places that you can pull from, and that's how that guy works. I know it's the issue is distance, you know. I'm getting ready to kind of go clean it up and if we can put it away in the tank garage or where Krusty is over in the shed there, get it out of the weather. But I grabbed that from a body shop quite a few years ago with a bunch of other stuff, and not the kind of thing you use much, but if you do need it, I guess it probably comes in handy. Although I haven't used it yet. If you beat it with a hammer and a come along is more my speed. It's kind of our last warm day, and tomorrow is supposed to be good, but it's supposed to be rainy. So try to do whatever I can outside today. We're just getting the tractors ready. This guy is a Freebie, and of course everybody in the fall is cleaning out their stuff, so they are trying to make spots, or got out snowblowers that they thought were going to work and didn't work. So that's where this guy came from. It's an old Craftsman 50s 60s genre, and kind of neat looking. It's a 7-horse, and I'm going to call it a 3-stage. If you look at it, it's got like so you can get it back far enough. You can see it's got the lower auger, and then up top it's got another like a snowbank breaker looking kind of setup. It's dark. It's the chain, little chain drive from the bottom to the top. Runs that one, and then of course it's got the behind it. It's got the regular impeller that whips it out. So I'm gonna call it a 3-stage. Probably called something else. What I liked about it is it's got no belts, and it's got a clutch on it. Really like a mini bike. Centrifugal clutch and more chains. The only problem with these are it's nobody really wants to buy them. If you got that running and all put together, what would it sell for? $100? And the only other problem with this is it's missing the belly pan that goes underneath. So it's incomplete, and it's dangerous as hell. To make it stop, you got to squeeze the lever. For it to go, you let go of the lever. So in other words, you can have it running, let go of it in gear, and it'll just take off on itself. And the snowblower just runs all the time. There's no on and off switch unless you idle it down to where the clutch isn't doing anything. But other than that, it's it's in gear and it goes. One thing I like is the little baby moon hubcaps that are on it. So I think I might just tear that apart and make it like go-kart parts, So unfortunate. Cool looking, but these don't have much of a value. Nice little light on it. Not sure if that's 6 volt or 12 volt. So that was a freebie. A little Honda mower over here was a freebie. I serviced this probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And the gentleman's getting older. I think he's given up cutting grass, and he's going to go have a service do it. So the drive stopped working, and So I already did a service on it, and ended up just replacing the drive belt. It was all wore out, and that seemed to have come back to life. The cool looking unit. Has the little shopping cart caster front wheels on them, and you can lock them in forward position too. It's got like a caster lock on them. They'll both lock straight ahead too, or it can turn on a dime. So that was a freebie, and so was out front. There's a MTD like 826 snowblower, and that one's all done. We're just missing the pull start cord and needed a good service, and so that one's already done and getting ready to go too. Getting cleaned out, getting thinned out a little bit, trying to make some room for snow. Yeah, I know. Did my gutters, got my gutters all cleaned out, cleaned up the pine needles off the roof, and all the fountains turned over. Depressing in a way, but at least I get to hibernate in the garage. Kind of feeling guilty about being outside. So, I did have the I think Twice bike. It was off the lift for about a week. I did a bunch of stuff, working on a bunch of stuff, and then I thought I was caught up. I put it back on the lift, and of course, a bunch of stuff showed up again, so I had to take it back off. But I'll be getting on this pretty shortly. I want to get this done and kind of put away, and then we'll do it like we did with the rat bike in springtime. We'll fire them up, and we'll do some test runs and see how they do. But this winter should be a bunch of larger projects. I do have the double cab to put together, and there is the 70 bus Outback to put together. So those two are on the agenda. And also with that VW theme is the trike. I have the Wheelmac VW trike, which I have a Springer front end to put back on it, and that just needs a bunch of cleaning up. So in the order of who needs the most work is the trike probably needs the least, so I may get that done first. The 70 Westy Outback is probably the second most amount of work needed, and then of course the double cab's going to need the most amount of work. So that might be how that goes down. So, all right, now I'm just absolutely just rambling. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to go shut you down. Again, thanks for watching, comment, subscribing, and I'll turn the camera back on when I start getting something interesting to work on instead of just walking around pointing at machinery. All right, guys, take care. Bye.